Hey, what's up, Subi fam? We are back, ready for action, and today we are putting an EJ257 together for a customer's 2009 Subaru WRX. This motor is a Type RA short block and paired with B25 heads. Today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to torque down cylinder heads on an EJ block. We have new head gaskets, new head bolts, OEM, and after the heads are fully torqued down to the block, I will be teaching you guys how to do a valve lash. That consists of using your cam caps. This is for a ABCS, single ABCS motor. So basically, after we're done doing the valve lash, I will proceed with the other cylinder head and we'll proceed with putting the timing belt on, the intake manifold. This customer is getting aftermarket injectors, Cobb 1050X injectors, and let's get to it. All right, we're going to proceed with step one. Step one is grabbing all of your cylinder head bolts. We are going to dip them and coat them in engine oil. Well, I already jumped the gun and I already prepared all 6 engine bolts ready. So I'm going to proceed with step one, which is torquing them down in alphabetical order at 22 foot-pounds. So how I like to stand at the engine is at the base of right here. Exhaust port is facing towards me and intake ports are up top. And we're going to start alphabetical order is going to be top center bolt. That's you can do A, B, C, D, E, and F. Or you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you want to do numbers. But we're going to do alphabetical. So we'll start. Set our torque. If you have a digital torque wrench or a mechanical, set it to 22 foot-pounds. So we're going to torque number A to 22. There it goes. This one beeps, obviously, so it makes the job a lot easier. Now we're going to proceed with B. Now B is finished. We're going to proceed with C. Now a little tip and pointer here, if you hear or feel any resistance, like any creaking noises or metal to metal noises, stop what you're doing, loosen all the bolts, back everything up, take the bolt out, clean it. There could be metal shavings or debris inside of the block if you're using your old block, and then clean off all the old oil and all the debris off your head bolts, coat them again and put them in there and restart the process. So back onto head bolt C. Okay, C is finished. Head bolt D onto E. E is finished. Now F. Alright, we are done with step one. Step two consists of same alphabetical order at 51 foot-pounds. So 22, 51, and then after that we'll proceed with step three. So I'm going to set my torque wrench to 51. Now, like I said, alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, E, F. And with your, okay, perfect. Okay, now step three, we are going to grab a smaller ratchet, breaker bar type thing, and we are going to loosen. I go opposite alphabetical order, so I'll do F, E, D, C, B, and A. So we'll proceed with that. All right, so we're going to proceed with going reverse alphabetical order. So we're going to start with F. Like I said, F, E, D, C, B, and A. We're going to reverse all the bolts. Step number 3, 180 degrees. Now for some of you, you don't need a dial, like a degrees dial for this. It's quite simple. So basically, you point your handle down here and it's just going to be straight up. That's 180. So if you start from, let's say, down here and go all the way back down, that's obviously 360. It's a full 360. So we're going to proceed 180. You're going to have to hold the stand sometimes. All right, 180. Okay. B. Now that's all for step number 3. Now we're going to proceed with step number 4. All it is repeat of step number 3. Back it off 180, reverse alphabetical order, and that makes a total of 360 degrees. Now what this does, doing it in this order of step number 3 and step number 4, is that you're releasing the pressure off the cylinder head equally in little increments, one to prevent warping or anything like that. So they're all done. Now we're going to proceed with step number 5. Now that those are all backed up, we are going to retorque everything down to 36 foot-pounds. We're going to do this alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, E, F. All right, now we're on to the next step. Now this one is very crucial. This one's going to consist of, step number 5 is going to consist of 80 to 90 degrees. So if you have a regular torque wrench and not a digital, then you're going to have to get that degrees dial tool, kind of just to be on the ballpark. Don't go above 90, just keep it like 85 degrees. Those are all going to be done in alphabetical order. So we're going to grab our torque wrench. We're going to go to degrees. All right, 87. That gives me a little bit of leeway, so if I accidentally over torque it, you know, I have a little bit of leeway there. So we're going to proceed, alphabetical order, 87 degrees. This one you'll have to definitely hold the engine stand down. There we go. All right, step 5 is done. Now we got step 6, step 7. All this is pretty much, you're going to do another 80 to 90 degrees. But you're going to do it in half. So step 6 is 40 to 45 degrees, and step 7 is the same, 40 to 45 degrees. The torque wrench is set to 43 degrees, so alphabetical order. This one's going to take some power. Alright, step 6 is done with a little bit of struggle, but we're on to step 7, final step. And don't over torque it, and try not to break your arm. No, that was good. All right, again, alphabetical order. All right, and that's how you successfully bolt down any EJ motor cylinder head. Some of the torque specs are a little different with single cams, but really same concept. Not much different anyways, so let's proceed. All right guys, here we are. We're on the final stages of installing this engine. As you can see, first things first, we're gonna install this clutch. Also, we couldn't get a video on doing the timing belt and showing you guys how to do a valve lash, but if you do want a video on that, just comment below and we'll work on a video for you guys on how to do a valve lash, a timing belt job for a single cam and a dual cam. So stay tuned for that and comment below if that's what you want. So we're gonna proceed. We're gonna put this clutch on, this brand new clutch. So she's nice and pretty. So hopefully this holds all the power. We're hoping so. All right guys, we have our alignment tool in. This is to line it up with the pilot bearing, so when you do install it into the transmission, that you're not gonna have any issues of everything sliding in properly. So we're gonna put our bolts on. These bolts, torque spec is 28 foot-pounds. So we're gonna torque all these at 28 foot-pounds. And after that, we'll install the new throwout bearing onto the clutch fork and the transmission. And I am gonna zap these with the gun, not like torque them down, but I'm gonna zap them with the gun to kind of speed up the process when I do torque them, instead of sitting here using my torque wrench as a ratchet, you know. So okay, all right, now I'm gonna grab the torque wrench. All right guys, we have our torque wrench set to 28 foot-pounds, and these are all 12 millimeter bolts, so we're going to tighten these to 28 foot-pounds. All right, okay. All right, so that is how you install or put on a clutch and properly torque it down. So now we're gonna proceed. All right guys, we're on a final step. We just have to install the new throwout bearing. This is the old one. we're gonna install the new one. And as you can see, this one probably can't hear it, but it is a little worn out. It's gonna make some noise. So since we got a new clutch, came with a new throw out bearing, we're gonna install it. So off with the old, and as you can see here, this is his old clutch material from when he blew up his clutch. As I mentioned earlier, he initially came in for a clutch job, and we got him a engine because the car for some reason came with the 2.0 from the previous owners. So now we got a 257 long block with B25 heads, bigger turbo, injectors, up pipe, full exhaust. This car should make a solid like 350 on E85. Let's do this. We're gonna grease up the shaft here a little bit. Put some there, put some on the spline so we got easy install. Just like that. Now we're ready to install the engine, so let's do this. All right guys, and that's how it's done. Thank you to Edwin, I appreciate it. Thank you for the hard work. I know he's got someplace to be right now, so we're gonna cut it short and we'll get back on it tomorrow and hopefully have a startup video tomorrow, crossing our fingers. All right guys, so we are finished with the 09 WRX. The motor's in, the intercooler's on. All we need to do is put coolant in there, but before we waste coolant, we wanna make sure this engine has no misfires, no check engine lights, no rod knocks, no noises, nothing. So first things first, we're gonna start it up. We got Edwin in the car. Fire this baby up. Let's hear it. All right, just like that. Now we did already prime the engine before we turned on the camera. We primed it of oil and everything. We got the power steering pump on, everything's solid. Do you have power steering? Cool, we got power steering. And yeah. So now we're gonna fill up the cooling system, we're gonna prime it, burp it and everything. And after that, we're gonna get a video of a test drive. After the test drive, we're going to start tuning this car. So stay tuned, because this is gonna be one hell of a car. That sounds healthy. Alright guys, the 09 owner is here. We gave him the car last night so we couldn't get a complete reaction video, but that's okay because Alfonso, our tuner, he's on his way back, and we're gonna have him Edwin over there, and Alfonso's gonna take care of a check engine light for the wastegate solenoid, and actually no, wastegate pressure, and then we're probably gonna have him up the boost a bit more and get more power out of it, and then we'll get a reaction video. All right guys. All right guys, Alfonso is in the car with the customer, and he's gonna crank up the boost a little bit more, crank up the timing, see if we could get more power out of it, which it is on a conservative tune, making some pretty good numbers for a stock turbo. So let's see how this goes. Everything else is on point, everything is perfect. We got the check engine light taken care of, which is just for a Bank 2 O2 sensor, so it wasn't too crazy big of a deal. We replaced the Bank 2 O2 sensor with a wideband, so that's why it came on, and we forgot to delete that during the tuning process. So we're taking care of that right now, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a wrap for today's video. Maybe we'll get a flyby of him flying by, and that'll be it guys. On to the next.